Wilson overdosed in prison.
I'm sure y'all remember Wade Wilson. He is that guy who is in Florida death row in prison with a death sentence hanging over his head because he killed 2 innocent women. And the women across the bowels of the internet decided that he was dreamy, and they started making all these thirst traps about him and sending him all sorts of money until they kind of realized that this dude is an absolute and utter douchebag. He has white supremacist tattoos all across his face. He went in there, they shaved his head, he got fat, and he's an absolute train wreck of a toxic human being. Who would have thought a dude who murders women wouldn't make a good boyfriend for the internet? But then they sort of turned on his ass, and now he has just overdosed in Florida prisons. We are going to get into all of this right now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Wade Wilson's dirty punk woman murdering ass gets exactly what he deserves. Now, unfortunately, he did overdose. The unfortunate part comes from the fact that prison staff actually gave him Narcan to revive him. Now, there's going to be some of you out there that go, but JD, aren't you an advocate for Narcan? Not for sex offenders who murder women. Are you out of your fucking mind? This just seems like adding extra steps to what needed to happen anyway. He overdosed in prison. He was dying. He was scheduled to die anyway. He was given the death penalty. Why would you actually bring him back to life just to kill him all over again? Let that motherfucker rot. You guys know that I'm a huge advocate for the death penalty. I don't think we're killing nearly enough people, to be honest with you. If somebody is out there murdering women or children, if somebody is out there putting their pee-pee where it doesn't belong, I absolutely think that we are not only entitled, but we have a responsibility to take those maggot motherfuckers off the face of the planet. And I think we should do it more quickly. Why do our tax dollars go to like 40 years of their existence living on death row? It makes not a single lick of sense to me. We already decided he needed to die. Why are we pussyfooting around it like that? We should make an express lane. 10 items or less, bitch, you're gone. Does that make me a bad person? What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Now, there is no doubt that Wade Wilson overdosed on fentanyl. They have the toxicology reports. They've already written him up a DR, which is a disciplinary report. That means he's actually in trouble for this whole thing. But Wade Wilson claims that he was poisoned. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he's saying that he didn't willingly take the drugs, that he was poisoned. Funny that an absolute child rapist, gutter junkie who kills women, and all of that is documented, would now say that he was poisoned. He would never take drugs of his own accord, even though he's been busted for drug trafficking while he's been incarcerated. He says this is all just some big conspiracy against him. And he was on death row, so nobody really had access to him except correctional officers. So, he's saying that the correctional officers at the prison tried to murder him through poisoning him with fentanyl. What do you guys think about that? Do you want to know what I think about that? Well, we're going to tell you. Now, first off, there is no doubt in my mind that the correctional officers in that prison hate Wade Wilson. I've done a little time in Florida myself, so I can tell you the one thing that they hate the most is when a convict piece of shit thinks that he's somehow special. And this dude definitely thinks that he's something special. They're gonna do everything that they can to let you know exactly what type of a nobody you are in there. They might come in your cell 3 or 4 deep at 4 in the morning and beat the ever-loving dog shit out of you. They might put human feces on your tray and just laugh and see if you eat it or not. Or they might have other inmates come in and do their dirty work for them and beat the ever-loving fuck out of you while they sit back and laugh and place bets on which one of your bones and body parts are going to come out all disconfoculated afterwards. But do I think that they would poison him with fentanyl, or do I find it more likely that he found a way to have one of his people that he's manipulating out there on the streets put money and fentanyl in a guard's hand to take it into him because he's a junkie piece of shit? I'm just gonna tell you right now, I believe that he's a junky piece of shit, and he probably did that fentanyl of his own accord. But what is he actually saying? Well, Wade Wilson is trying to say that they were pumping fentanyl gas or smoke into his vents, and that he was inhaling it against his will, non-consensual fentanyl use inside a prison in the state of Florida. And if y'all remember correctly, this is not even the first time that he has overdosed while he's been facing and fighting this case. He overdosed in the Lee County Jail back in 2023, so he has a history of doing this shit, which just establishes that, like, yeah, this dude is a liar. But the way that these things work in a prison like this is they have to take it somewhat seriously while the incident is still under investigation. So after they Narcaned him and got him stable, they immediately rolled up all of his stuff, cuffed him up, probably searched his little blown out booty hole, and they moved him from Union Correctional to Swanee. But the COs over at Union are more than likely to be a lot more tame than them COs at Swanee are gonna be with his ass. Especially, and consider this, he is not what you would call incognito. All of these COs know exactly who he is. They're gonna know exactly why he's there. And they're also gonna know that he was accusing the COs at the last prison that he was at of poisoning him, which means that he's trying to get them fired. He's trying to get charges pressed against them. He's snitching against COs. And one thing COs do not like is when you snitch against other COs. His life just got exponentially worse, and I'm here for that shit. Because one of the things that people don't realize about the Florida prison system, as opposed to like the prisons out on the West Coast where I did my time, is that you don't worry as much about the other inmates in Florida as you do the correctional officers. They don't have gangs in Florida on the same level that we have on the West Coast that are doing things that, like, if a CO does something messed up to an inmate, they'll come home and their house will be burned to the ground with everything they own in it. No, Florida is different. The COs are the ones that you need to be afraid of because they will all the way fuck your shit up. The correctional officers in the Florida prisons are in fact the biggest and most dangerous gang there. And all of that could very well go to substantiate some of Wade's accusations that he was poisoned by the correctional officers at Union Correctional. If they're capable of all these other things, why wouldn't they be capable of trying to poison him with fentanyl? Because they know that an overdose is gonna look like it was natural causes for a junky piece of shit like him. I really don't know. I'm leaning towards he just was doing drugs and the right thing almost happened and somebody came in and stopped it. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments, and until the next one, it's always one love, baby. Be good or be good at it. Wait, are y'all still here? I'm getting ready to go take a little ride. I'll be back soon, though, with that interview with Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd.